नमस्ते बिटिया, सदा खुश रहो। I am JVN Dr. Alka Jain, Associate Professor in the Department of Community Medicine, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, and Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. So, in previous session, I have talked about diphtheria, its epidemiology, its determinants, the host factors, the causative factors, the portal of entry, and modes of transmission, and the pathology and pathogenesis. Now, a short revision about the pathology of diphtheria. Mainly after because diphtheria bacteria doesn't itself cause pathogenesis, but the toxins produced by it causes the pathogenesis. Because in the bacteria, pathogens do not have the invasive power, and so they do not enter the circulations. The exotoxin enters the circulation, result in toxemia. And because of this toxemia, there is a severe inflammatory reactions in the superficial epithelial cells, which undergoes necrosis, and the outpouring exudates containing fibrin clots and entangles the necrosed cells, dead or living bacilli, leukocytes, and form a dense coagulum or pseudo membrane, which is a grayish yellow in color and is firmly adherent to the underlying tissues. And it is about 2 to 3 millimeter thick. An attempt to peel the membrane results in bleeding, which is a confirmatory diagnosis of diphtheria. The exotoxin after circulation get fixed up in the target organs, especially in the heart and the cranial nerves, especially glossopharyngeal nerves. When heart is affected, it results in myocarditis and heart failure. And when ninth cranial nerve is affected, it results in palatal paralysis, nasal twang, nasal regurgitations, and once the toxins get fixed up into the tissues, no amount of antitoxins will be helpful to neutralize it, and the toxins loses its toxicity gradually by itself after several months. So after fixing of toxins to the space to tissues, it is irreversible changes. And come to the clinical features, and the incubation period varies from 2 to 6 days, and the disease begins quietly. बहुत slow start होती है disease, and there is a gradual rise of temperature, and associated features are headache, body ache, malaise, loss of appetite, जो कि common features है प्रोड्रोमल सिम्टम्स की. एंड स्पेसिफिक फीचर्स जो डिप्थेरिया के होते हैं मेनली वो डिपेंड करते हैं अपॉन द टाइप ऑफ द डिप्थेरिया. तो सबसे पहला जो डिप्थेरिया है वो है नेजल डिप्थेरिया. इसमें क्या होता है कि यूजुअली एंटीरियर पार्ट ऑफ द नोज इज अफेक्टेड, एंड देयर इज ए स्ट्रिमिंग ऑफ द नोज, एंड इट इज थिन एंड वाटरी टू स्टार्ट विद, लेटर becomes purulent and blood stained. On examination, a yellowish membrane is often seen inside the nose, and there will not be features of toxemia, and so the child is ambulatory and is spreading the disease. The nasal discharge may produce denudation of external nares and upper lip. तो ये इसकी कैस जो सी एफ आर है, केस फर्टिलिटी रेट इसकी लो होती है नेजल डिप्थेरिया की, क्योंकि इसमें एक्सोरॉक्सिन जो होता है वो ब्लड सर्कुलेशन में नहीं आ पाता है, तो इसलिए टॉक्सीमिया के फीचर्स नहीं होते हैं, और पेशेंट में सिम्टम्स जो होते हैं माइल्ड और से लेके मॉडरेट सिम्टम्स होते हैं, और इस वजह से बच्चा एम्बुलेटरी होता है, चल फिर सकता है, ऐसा नहीं कि बेड रिडन हो सकता है. और ये सबसे खतरनाक स्थिति होती है कि जब कोई पर्सन इन्फेक्टेड है और यदि वो एम्बुलेटरी पोजिशन में है, स्टेट में है, तो उस स्टेट में सबसे मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ इन्फेक्शन ट्रांसफर होते हैं. Here it's a picture of nasal diphtheria, and it's a membrane in the anterior nares. Now the second type of diphtheria is tonsillar diphtheria, and the child will have pain in the throat, difficulty in swallowing. On examination of the throat, foul smell comes from the patient's mouth as he opens, and a yellowish membrane is seen on either side of the tonsils or both the tonsils. या तो किसी एक टॉन्सिल के ऊपर मेम्ब्रेन मिलेगी या मोस्ट प्रोबेबली दोनों टॉन्सिल्स के ऊपर फॉल्स मेम्ब्रेन आपको देखने को मिलेगी जब आप एग्जामिन करोगे। और इस जब मेम्ब्रेन को अपन हटाने की कोशिश करेंगे तो वहां से ब्लीडिंग होगी। तो ये ब्लीडिंग जब होती है तो इससे कंफर्मेटरी साइन और सिम्टम होता है डिप्थेरिया का। और जो मेम्ब्रेन के अराउंड में टिश्यू जो होता है इरिमेटस एंड कंजेस्टेड होता है। An attempt to peel the membrane results in bleeding, which is confirmatory of diphtheria and differentiate from acute tonsillitis. Regional cervical group of lymph nodes are enlarged and tender, and the child will also have mild to moderate degree of टॉक्सीमिया। नेजल डिप्थेरिया में आपको टॉक्सीमिया के साइन सिम्टम्स नहीं देखने को मिलेंगे, जबकि टॉन्सिलर डिप्थेरिया में माइल्ड से लेके मॉडरेट डिग्री ऑफ टॉक्सीमिया प्रेजेंट हो सकता है। और मेनली जो रीजनल सर्वाइकल जो लिम्फ नोड्स है अराउंड द टॉन्सिल्स, जो लिम्फ नोड्स होते हैं वो मेनली टेंडर और एनलार्ज्ड होते हैं। Here you can see a in the tonsillitis, and here it's a clear picture of a false membrane। यहाँ पे एक membrane बनी हुई है, एक ही टॉन्सिल में है, यहाँ पे दोनों टॉन्सिल्स के ऊपर नहीं है, और ये डिफरेंशिएट कर रहा है इस पिक्चर से टॉन्सिलाइटिस की। Now the third type of diphtheria is pharyngeal diphtheria, and it is also known as facial diphtheria. And in this type of diphtheria, the child will have dry, disturbing cough, sore throat, and pain in the throat. And as the child opens mouth, foul smell comes from the mouth. Same feature as we will found in uh, tonsillar diphtheria. And there is a congestion and edema in the pharynx. The pseudomembrane may extend anteriorly towards the palate, posteriorly upwards towards the nose, और पोस्टरली डाउनवर्ड्स टुवर्ड्स द लैरिंग्स। सो यहाँ से जो सूडो मेम्ब्रेन है वो एक्सटेंड हो सकती है, यदि नीचे जाएगी तो लैरिंग्स तक फैल सकती है, ऊपर जाएगी तो नोज में, और एंटीरियरली यदि जाएगी तो ये पैलेट में भी स्प्रेड हो सकती है। Such a membrane is black in the center and yellowish towards the periphery, and the throat is congested. Inflammatory sign symptoms देखने को मिलेंगे membrane के around, and the regional lymph nodes are enlarged, and the child will have severe degree of toxemia. So in the first nasal, there is no feature of toxemia. In second type of, it's tonsillar type, where you can where you can find out the mild to moderate degree of toxemia. But in this third type of pharyngeal diphtheria, you can find out the severe degree of toxemia. Fever is high, the child is restless, irritable, looks pale, drowsy, and the skin is dry and hot, pulse is rapid and thready. So you can clearly differentiate between these three types: the nasal, the second one is tonsillar, and the third one is pharyngeal. In pharyngeal, it is the signs and symptoms are severe in comparison of to both. Now the next type is laryngeal diphtheria. This may start as a primary response to infection or may be secondary to डाउनवर्ड एक्सटेंशन ऑफ फेरेंजियल डिप्थेरिया। या तो डायरेक्टली स्टार्ट हो सकता है लैरिंग से, या फिर जो फेरिंग्स में जो स्टार्ट हुआ था डिप्थेरिया, फेरेंजियल डिप्थेरिया, वहां से ये फर्दर एक्सटेंड होके लैरिंजियल डिप्थेरिया में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है। एंड इट इज कैरेक्टराइज्ड बाय होर्सनेस ऑफ वॉइस, कफ, dyspnea and respiratory distress. These are the obvious signs and symptoms because the throat is affected and the inflammatory processes are going on in the throat. So it's a clear cut, there will be hoarseness of voice, there will be pain, and deglutition may be there, and cough and dyspnea is also there, and the child becomes restless, frightened, develops fear of death due to breathlessness, and becomes cyanosed. Respiratory distress is due to the spasm of laryngeal muscles, which is known as laryngeal stridor. And the child struggles to get more air, which reflexly induces spasm, resulting in worsening of the situations. And if it is not relieved by tracheostomy, the child may die very soon. So it's a very grave condition of diphtheria, laryngeal diphtheria. It's a picture of laryngeal diphtheria. Now, some other rare forms of diphtheria are cutaneous diphtheria, which is characterized by punched ulcer on the skin and absence of features of toxemia because it's a cutaneous, it's outward the outside the body on the skin. So there is no feature of toxemia. And the other features, other forms are conjunctival diphtheria, gastrointestinal diphtheria, genital diphtheria, in which glands or vulva is affected, and the endocardic diphtheria, in which subacute bacterial endocarditis due to diphtheria bacilli may be there. Now, the complications of diphtheria. In laryngeal diphtheria, secondary to extending pharyngeal diphtheria, uh, and cardiovascular complications are post diphtheric myocarditis because of fixation of exotoxin in the myocardium, resulting in feeble heart sounds, triple rhythm, soft murmur, tachycardia, tachypnea means increase in the respiration rate, tachycardia increase in heart rate, and hepatomegaly, liver becomes enlarged, and prognosis is poor. Child may recover after the toxins lose their toxicity in the natural way, which requires about 8 to 9 months. So, a very long period of illness, and the laryngeal diphtheria is the worst condition in all types of diphtheria. The other complications are neurological complications, in which commonest are is paralysis of glossopharyngeal nerves, and there may be oculomotor paralysis or facial paralysis, and child may recover after several months. And the other complications are bronchopneumonia, otitis media, and many more. So this is now all together all about the complications and this, types of diphtheria, and in types of, mainly first one is the nasal, the second one is the tonsillar, third one is pharyngeal, and the fourth one is laryngeal. These four are the common types of diphtheria, and some rare forms are also there, but their prevalence is very rare. So if you have any query related to this topic, please mention in the comment box. Thank you so much. And this session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. Thank you.